I noticed some folks clapped, but I know some of these big guys, they're all still driving their big SUVs. You know, they got their big monster trucks and everything. You're one of them? Well, now, here's my point. You know, if you're complaining about the price of gas and you're only getting 8 miles a gallon, you know, well, you may have a big family, but it's probably not that big. Like I said, if you're getting 8 miles a gallon, you may want to think about a trade-in.
So you were just watching President Obama in Pennsylvania addressing a crowd on energy independence and these rising gas prices. I'm Amy Holmes. Welcome to PJTV. And this is a little segment we like to call Pass Fail. Does a lucky or unlucky politician get to pass or fail our very difficult, stringent standards? Joining me is Kristen Soltis with Winston Group and also Katie Pavlich of townhall.com. So, Katie, President Obama was in Pennsylvania, a purple state, which, as you remember, he lost in the Democratic primary to Hillary Clinton. What do you make of this, of him telling these voters to give up their SUVs?
Yeah, you know, I just think it's very interesting that President Obama would go to a blue-collar state and ask them to start driving Priuses. I mean, the economy in Pennsylvania requires heavy machinery. It requires people to drive trucks to get to their job and work all day. I mean, clearly he's just so out of touch. Not to mention, I can't believe he's asking people to go buy cars in this economy. I mean, first of all, Mr. President, I don't have a job, so I can't go buy a car that's going to cost me $41,000. And then, you know, my other question is, he keeps talking about this green energy and electric cars, but where are you going to plug your car into?
Very good point.
Coal? I mean, is coal going to power my car now? It's either gasoline or coal, right?
Well, Kristen, I was talking with George Will about this, and we played this clip for him, and he said, well, it's better than his previous message, which was, we're going to see energy costs go through the roof. And that this was a good thing because it would shift consumers away from oil and onto these more energy efficient things that President Obama likes. What do you make? Is this a winning message for Obama going into 2012?
You know, Obama has this really great trick he does where he'll make a statement that is correct. For instance, in the State of the Union, he said, we have, you know, one of the highest corporate tax rates in the world. But then doesn't follow it up with, so how are we going to fix the fact that we have that? So in this case, you know, in the remarks, he says, you know, we're dependent on oil and we're not producing enough here in the United States. But I don't hear any plan to produce more oil in the United States. All I hear is, you know, moratoriums on drilling in the Gulf of Mexico and things like that. So, you know, I think that by and large, he is correct. It would be good for the United States to move onto some other form of energy. But the sorts of policies that the government's put into place, you know, subsidizing green jobs and this sort, it is not a feasible, it's not working.
What about him telling the audience when they're asking about these gas prices, well, you know, if I'm going to be honest, there's nothing we can do, not for 1 week or 2 weeks. Is that a winning message?
Absolutely not. One thing that drives me crazy, whether it's the President of the United States or the clerk at the store saying, I have no idea.
There's nothing I can do for you.
Yeah, there's something I can do for you.
Then why are you called customer service?
Why are you the president? You know? Sorry that I'm asking you to do your job today, but I mean, really, that's not a winning message to voters. It's not a winning message when it's hitting people in the pocketbook, literally, and a winning message to tell people to go out and buy an electric car when people clearly aren't buying. The market is working so that people don't want electric cars. If they wanted them, they would go out and buy them.
Frankly, he could say, I think we should all ride bicycles, or I think that, you know, we should all use gondolas. I mean, we don't want our president micromanaging how we get to and from work and in what kind of vehicle. Just this last fall, I was in Pennsylvania with my folks when they were out visiting, and we were, you know, driving through the countryside. And the three of us, and one of them did vote for Obama, we did remark that he needs to hit the road in, I don't know, like a Volkswagen, one of those old ones from the 1970s, with his wife and his girls, and see how regular Americans live. To go to a grocery store and go shopping with regular Americans, see that, yes, they do buy the frozen tater tots. People do get their vegetables out of cans. They're not going to get arugula from Whole Foods. And that this might make him a little bit more in touch with how we're living and, you know, how a lot of people are suffering through this economy.
But he can't do it as a photo op, because we've seen many a politician try to put on the folksy sort of shtick when it's clearly not who they are, and it just, you know, voters can see right through it.
But, yeah, and I think it's really just arrogant for him to be pushing this green energy agenda that's going to cost taxpayers billions of dollars, when at the same time he's saying, well, sorry, your gas prices are so high. Now I'm going to put some more burden on you by raising your taxes to pay for my green energy initiative.
Well, what's also fascinating is, remember back when gas prices were going up under the Bush administration, it was the Democratic talking points were as if George W. Bush himself had gone to the gas pumps in America and ticked everything higher to give his buddies in the oil industry money. And now that Democrats are in control, governing's kind of hard. And sometimes when prices on important commodities like oil go up, the American public expects you to do something. We have taxes on gasoline in this country. I mean, the one thing that I am concerned about is sometimes politicians will release oil from the strategic oil reserves to sort of drop prices at politically convenient moments. Bill Clinton did this, and I think Bush did it as well. You know, I would hate to see energy turned into something where they're playing enormous politics with it. I just want to see some kind of solution, and I haven't really seen much that I think is a credible, strong energy policy out of this administration.
I would agree with that, and we're already seeing reports that folks on the Obama team are worried about these gas prices. We're going to be heading into summer driving season, where a lot of families, pack up the SUV that he doesn't like us driving to go out camping, and you're going to really see it. You're going to see your vacation costs go way up, and that could be a really big political problem for President Obama. So I, for one, think that this was a fail.
I would say epic fail.
Epic fail?
Epic fail.
I think it was a moderate fail. I think on some of the policy points, when it comes to the fact that we do need to transition at some point eventually. There's not an unlimited supply of oil. He's not wrong, but I think his presentation in this situation was a huge failure.
All right. Well, President Obama, we do hope that you'll be able to tackle this problem, at least maybe not next week or the week after that, but sometime between now and 2012. Thanks for joining us. I'm Amy Holmes. You're watching PJTV, the Washington Roundtable. We'll see you next time.